Greetings, comic friends. We're here to do TGIW. Thank God it is Wednesday, celebrating the best day of the week. Wednesday, new comic book day. Had a much better week than last week. Man, last week was nuts. Given I had bought things that I missed and all that, it was, what was it, like 16 bucks. It was quite a week. This week, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A little more manageable. And again, all really, really solid stuff. So first off, we have Edge of Spider-Verse #1. It's just they don't give it a subtitle. I think we've reached a point in our lives where there will just never not be some Spider-Verse title going on. It's so easy for them to just like pump these out. They don't have to worry about continuity. They don't have to worry about anything. They can just make up new characters with like this. This is mainly with the Spider Rex. Is that what they call him? It can be. It's complete nonsense. It's fun. I'm not saying it's bad in any way. It's a lot of fun, but they don't have to worry about interaction with other characters, ruining other plots or whatever, or just anything at all. They can just make stuff up and have fun with it, which is great. But it also means that we're just probably always going to have one. Like, because why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? While we're on Spider-Man, Spider-Man #8. So we are done with that last Spider-Verse event, where the biggest thing that came out of that is this Spider-Boy, which has been around forever. No one remembers him. So we get a little bit more of that in here, which is interesting. I am interested to see more about that. But man, that thing that took off a little bit, man. People just, they jump on hype pretty easy. I don't know. Who knows? Is it going to be a good character? Is it going to last? I don't know. Maybe not. Doesn't matter either way, as long as the story regarding him is good. I don't know if I see him being a huge part of the Marvel Universe. There's already so many Spider characters, and it feels like a bit of a red herring to me. That something, I don't know. He's not going to have the staying power. But people will spec on anything, so. And I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, if he's a good character and he sticks around, good. But, all I really care about is the stories. Batman #900. This started off as an interesting sort of multiverse story, but some stuff happened. Some real stuff is happening here. This is a lot of fun. We definitely get a lot more universe jumping. We get some retconning, some very significant retconning. This story ended up being a lot more significant than I ever thought it would, and it's great. I can see where some people might be upset about the revelations in this, but I am not so tied to the characters that it bothers me that much. I think it's a really interesting sort of twist, and I think it's cool. Will it stick? Will it itself get retconned at some point or get explained away in another way? I don't know, but it was an interesting read, and it turned out good. Oh, sorry, I don't know why I'm so yawny. I do know why I'm so yawny. I just got up from a little nap, and maybe I should have stayed down for longer. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Usagi Yojimbo, Werewind #2. So there's this time traveling robot guy that goes back in time to the feudal Japan. The turtles follow him, and he's trying to start early and conquer the world because he has the mind and the technology to become a power. And here we finally get Usagi and the turtles meet up. Before it was all kind of set up and getting the turtles back in time. But I don't want to give anything away. It's interesting. This is all written by Stan Sakai. You can tell it's a very Sakai sort of scripting and story and dialogue, which makes it a nice, easy read, which isn't a bad thing. It's just sometimes it's nice to it's just kind of a simple, straightforward story. Let's just have some fun. Demon Wars Scarlet Sin. So here we're kind of wrapping up the current Demon Wars line with the I can't remember what they call her, but it's the Scarlet Witch analog, right? Who has taken over the minds of the Captain America analog and whatnot. Anyway, they're trying to raise Mariko's father, who was this big demon, for bad reasons. And yeah, these Demon Wars books are a lot of fun. It's sometimes fun to see who pops up and try to figure out who some of these characters are supposed to be representing, and if they represent someone. Some are really obvious, right? Like the Captain America one was obvious. The Iron Man one is obvious. The Spider-Man one is super obvious because it's literally a spider. But it's a lot of fun. Moon Knight #23. This was so much fun. This was fantastic. So here we get a nice little team up story with Moon Knight and Venom. I am missing some stuff in Venom since I haven't been reading it, but apparently Dylan Brock is now officially Venom, which is fine. We'll see how long that goes on for. Maybe that's the long-term plan, but my problem with it is they didn't do a very good job of Donny Cates didn't do a very good job of making me really care about Dylan that much. So when he got the mantle of Venom, I don't really care. Killing off Eddie Brock was probably a bad idea. But this is a fun story with Dylan, Venom, and Moon Knight. It's a nice little standalone. It's a beginning to end sort of story. I'm not sure what there's not a whole lot added to the overall Moon Knight story arc here. It's just kind of a nice story with I guess I take that back. Venom does have a bit of a purpose in the current ongoing Moon Knight arc, but it serves more. I think it serves more as a Moon Knight Venom team up. But now thinking back on it, there is an important plot point for the Moon Knight story. Joe Fixit #5. Oof, man, I think about yawning, so then I yawn. It's horrible. So this story gets wrapped up. This was fun. When Peter David goes back to old Hulk, Joe Fixit, he did the Crossroads. When he goes back and does Symbiote Spider-Man, I'm always on board. It's not going to win any awards. It's not going to shake the foundations of the Marvel Universe at all. They're just really, really fun back-in-time stories, and I will probably just always get these just because they're so good. Adventures of Superman, John Kent, #3. So here we're blending into the Injustice world, and I don't know a whole lot about Injustice. I played the first video game when it first came out, and I understand that it took place in an alternate world where the some of the bad guys were good and some of the good guys were bad. Like Superman has become a authoritarian, and it's not a good scene. But that is, with the chasing of Ultraman, this is where he ended up in the Injustice universe, and this Superman, this Clark, is like, hey, go, like, you have the power. You have the power to make peace. And I did it. And John talks about how, yeah, that his dad had thought about it, but thinks it's not really his place. And the Superman says, go on and go and see how things are and see how, it's peaceful. And he's like, yeah, for the first time in forever, I don't hear, like, in the background, like, bombs and gunfire and all that. But then under closer inspection, you can see that, they're living in a state of fear at all times. So I think I know enough about Injustice, and this issue gives enough through context to kind of understand what's going on that I don't feel like I'm terribly missing anything. But it is good. It is interesting. Curious to see how that resolves. And the last thing I have is Tales from Nottingham #3. This is probably not for you if you didn't get Nottingham. You might not really kind of understand what's going on with their depiction of Robin Hood. He's definitely a very different take on Robin Hood, and it might be tough to jump into, but I do suggest reading Nottingham if you can get your hands on it, or get trades, and then following up with this, because this is really good. Tales from Nottingham, again, as it may suggest, is sort of a lot of backstory of Nottingham. In this one, it's a lot about Maid Marian and her relationship with her father, and her and her father's relationship with Robin and the Merry Men. But also very good. So that's all of it. Nothing else special. Just a nice, good, solid week. A little bigger than what I usually like, but it went pretty fast, just because everything was so good. But overall, a good week. So let me know your thoughts. What did you get this week that you really, really enjoyed or are looking forward to reading? Like, comment, subscribe, and of course, don't forget to make yours Titan. This video was brought to you by Titan Comic Pressing. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Titan Comic Pressing LLC.